everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to our playthrough of Arkham Horror, the card game, where we're playing through the Dream Eaters campaign. This week, we're back over to the Waking Investigators as Jenny and Ursula get ready to take on their last scenario, Weaver of the Cosmos. 2 weeks ago on Point of No Return, Jenny and Ursula picked up 3 experience and 1 trauma apiece. Ursula's was physical, Jenny's was mental. We have upgraded their decks with that experience. Link to the video will be in the description down below. So now let's get ready for this scenario by setting the scene.
Scenario 4A.
Oops, wrong scenario. Here we go.
Scenario 4B, Weaver of the Cosmos. Intro. Everything has led to this. Virgil's writings, your companion's never-ending sleep, St. Mary's, the Black Cat, all of it. You have no choice but to press on. This trans-dimensional space is home to a creature that would obliterate your world and replace it with a new reality. A nightmarescape of pitch-black darkness and creatures that prey on your kind. If you cannot stop its weaving, there will be no Earth left to wake up to. You have to do something, even if it means your end. Proceed to set up.
Alright, that's what we're up against this week. We had a very strong temptation 2 weeks ago on the interlude between Point of No Return and Where the Gods Dwell to move the cat over to this side, but we left the cat with the Dreamers. Anyway, opening hands are all ready to go, so let's go ahead, we'll zoom back up top, and we'll take a look at opening hands. We'll take a look at Jenny's hand first. She's got 2 copies of Overpower, which is the skill cantrip for combat. We've also got Arcane Studies, which can let her buy her way out of will and lore tests. Then we have Unexpected Courage, which is another skill card. This one gives you 2 question marks, whatever you need. And then we have a weapon in hand, which I'm happy to see. The 45 Thompson. 2 hands, uses 5 ammo. You can spend an ammo to fight. You get +2 combat and deal +1 damage for this attack. Ursula has got what I like to call a very Ursula hand to her. So we're starting off with Manual Dexterity, which as we recall is a skill cantrip for agility. Then we have Field Work, 2 costs to play as a reaction after you move to a location. If that location has at least 1 clue on it, exhaust Field Work. You get +2 skill value to the next skill test you perform this phase. Deduction, 2 lore. If you succeed while investigating a location, you get 1 extra clue, 2 extra clues if you succeed by 2 or more. Shortcut, which I want to see later because this attaches to your location. And Pathfinder. As long as you're not engaged, you can exhaust this to move to a connecting location. So that will do it for starting hands. We also have Ursula's Higher Education and Charisma in play. So let's go through our first agenda and act. Act 1A, or Agenda 1A, the Bridge of Webs. The vast expanse of space is a bridge between the dreamlands and reality, woven by a terrible spider creature that is the cause of all of the distortions you have experienced thus far. If you don't find a way to stop it from completing the bridge, it will open the way for these horrors to enter the waking world. This agenda gets +2 per investigator doom threshold. Forced. When the agenda advances, do not remove doom from locations in play. You need 7 or... actually it's 11 doom because of the +2 per investigator threshold. But we also start with False Awakening in play. So it begins next to the agenda deck with a doom on it. As an action, test any skill 2. This test gets +1 per investigator difficulty, so it's actually a 4. If you succeed, remove False Awakening from the game. Any investigator may trigger this ability. Then our first act... Act 1A, Journey Across the Bridge. You realize now that you are no longer in the Dreamlands or the Waking World, but somewhere else entirely. A Stygian void wherein dwells the Weaver of the Cosmos. It is not just your world at stake, but the Dreamlands as well. Each location is connected to each location above and below it. Objective: if each investigator is at the bottommost location, they may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance, and we need 6 clues. So that will do it for opening hands, act, and agenda. Jenny and Ursula are going to move over to the map to their starting location, and we'll move with them. Alright, so here's our starting map. We have 4 Great Web locations in play in a vertical line. The bottommost location is actually starting with a doom on it as well, because in setup we had to check based on the steps of the bridge, and as you remember, we ended up with five steps of the bridge, which put 1 doom on the bottommost location. So every location is going to be the Great Web. They'll all have the same flavor text. We'll take a look at the topmost location's revealed side once we get done with this. So the Great Web. Long, scintillating strands of gossamery web fill the endless pit below the sea of pitch. The great work of the spiders is nearly complete. We're here to stop it. So let's take a look at our revealed side on this location. Shrouded 2, 4 clues. Forced, when the investigation phase ends, if there's at least 1 investigator at this location, place a doom on this location. Alright, we'll get our 4 clues. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Our first investigator for the round will be Ursula, and we'll actually start her turn. Actually, we're going to stay right here, because most of her turns are going to be right here anyway. So, action 1, we're going to play Pathfinder, just to get her moving like crazy right away. Action 2, we'll play a copy of Fieldwork that we saw earlier. Then we're actually going to investigate, and we're going to commit deduction to go, what is that, a shroud of 2? Yeah, so 4, 6, we're actually up 4, trying to get 3 clues. -1 gets her 3 clues. So that's a good start. And then the open player window after her last action, we're going to be busy. So we're going to exhaust Pathfinder since it's technically still her turn. I'm actually going to set her spin down on 1 as well. There we go. We'll move down to the second Great Web and let's see what's on the other side of this one. Alright, another one of the same Great Web locations. So another shroud of 2, 4 clues. If there's an investigator here, and there will be, place a doom on it. But we also get Ursula's free investigate action. So, yeah, that'll be very helpful. So we'll grab a resource for that. Ursula is up 2. Actually, she's up 4 because of Fieldwork. -1 gets her another clue, so we are definitely rocking at this game. From this location. So Ursula's already at 4 clues, and we should be able to advance very quickly if nothing goes crazy. So I'll go ahead and flip that over. Jenny's turn. Her first action is going to be to take a resource to go up to 6, and she's going to spend her 6 resources for action 2 to play her 45 Thompson. It uses 5 ammo. I'll get the ammo for that in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put those on the Thompson. And then action 3, we're actually going to move her down and have her join Ursula at this Great Web location. Mainly because I only want to put 1 doom out if I can help it, instead of the 2 that having investigators at both of those locations would require. So anyway, that will do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, there are no enemies in play, so I'll go ahead and reset everything, including the minis and the new action tokens. Right, so we should be out of resources with Jenny, and we'll move back up top for the upkeep phase. We're back up top for the upkeep phase. Ursula should also be out of resources, except for the one she's gaining now during upkeep phase. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go up to 2. If I can ever get the 2 out, there we go. And then Ursula will draw. Actually, that's at the... Okay, that's the end of the investigation phase. So they ended the location... They ended at the Great Web... Tangled Web. We only put 1 Doom out instead of the 2 that we would have if I left Jenny at the topmost location. But anyway, Ursula draws. Another copy of Fieldwork. That could be very handy. Jenny draws. Guts, which is just a will skill cantrip. Alright. That is very handy. So Doom will go on the agenda to... So Doom will actually go on the agenda. This is our first Doom on the agenda, but it's our 4th in play because of all the Doom that we've had to put out. Ursula draws. A swarm of rats. Swarming 2. That's not good. Well, it's good-ish because it gives Jenny something to do. Jenny draws. Oh boy. Sickening webs. Uh-oh. Attached to your location. Each spider enemy at attached location gains Retaliate and Alert. Investigators can't move out of the attached location. As an action, test Combat or Agility 3. If you succeed, discard it. Alright, so we'll have to attach that to our location. Alright, that will do it for the investigation, or for the Mythos phase. The investigation phase is up next, and we'll start with... I think we're going to start with Jenny, and the start of her turn is going to take us down to her play area. Here's Jenny. We've set her spin down to 1, Ursula's to 2. For her first action, Jenny's actually going to go ahead and engage the swarm of spiders away from Ursula. Action 2, we're going to take a shot at it. And we're going to take a shot at it with the Thompson. So 3, 5, we're up 4. -2 kills 2 of the swarms, so we'll put those back on the bottom of Ursula's deck. That was action 2. And action 3, we will take another... Do I want to just take the attack of opportunity and... No, I don't think I do right now. So I'm just going to fist it. So I'm just going to punch it, and I'm going to commit Overpower to go up 4. Alright, the Swarm of Spiders is dead. And Overpower lets us draw a card. We'll move that out of the way. Jenny will draw. Leo DeLuca, you are a sight for sore eyes, my friend. Anyway, that will do it for Jenny. Up next is going to be Ursula, and her turn will take us over to the map. Here we are at the map. Ursula's first action is actually going to be to try to get rid of the sickening webs. So right now we're up 1. I'm going to commit her manual dexterity to bring her up 3. The Elder Sign actually gives her a free move, too. It's plus... So, that's actually... There it is. Let's take a proper look at Ursula's Elder Sign. So, Ursula's Elder Sign is +1. After this test ends, you may move to a connecting location. Which I think we're going to do. So, this is gone. Ursula draws. Unexpected Courage. Alright. And Ursula is going to move. We're going to keep things moving. Try to keep things moving here. I can always Pathfinder back if I need to. Let's take a look. We're probably going to take a free investigate coming out of this. Shroud of 5, 2 clues. Forced. After this location is revealed, place 1 doom on it. So we have a Shroud of 2 clues. We put a doom out. And then we'll exhaust field work because we got the because we moved to a location with clues. So that brings us to 6. I'll commit unexpected courage to bring us to 8, to bring Ursula up 3. -1 gets her a clue. And we have used her free investigate. That was all action 1 from completing that sickening webs. Action 2 will be to move her down to the bottommost great web. Let's see what we have here. Same thing as up above. Shroud of 5, 2 clues. After it's revealed, put a doom on it. We'll put another doom on it. We'll get the 2 clues. And, okay, so that was action... Wait. That was action 2. Alright, so I will... I think action 3 will be to take a resource so I can prepare a little bit for next turn. That will do it for Ursula. Enemy phase, okay, that's at the end of the investigation phase. So Jenny's still there. That brings Doom up to 2 on the location. Enemy phase, no enemies are in play. Now we'll move back up top for the upkeep phase once we ready everything. Alright, back up top for the upkeep phase. Alright, we're up top for the Mythos phase. Ursula will gain 1 resource and go up to 3. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go up to 4. And then Jenny will proceed to draw. Ooh, Hard Knocks. We saw this in Point of No Return. 2 lore, or 2 combat, 2 agility on commit. 2 resources, replenish at the start of each round. As an action, spend a resource from your pool or from Hard Knocks. Get +1 combat or agility for this skill test. Ursula draws. Hyper awareness. It's basically Hard Knocks for lore and agility. But that will do it for the upkeep phase. End of round, nothing happens. Mythos phase. Doom goes up to... We put another Doom up, which... That seems quick to advance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No, I guess we do advance. Alright, so we definitely need to pick up the pace here a little bit. Hopefully Jenny won't get too bogged down. Alright. Agenda 1B, A Breath of Fresh Air. There's nowhere in this interdimensional space, even in the bleak pits of the underworld, you sensed cold wind coiling through the depths or warm, noxious gas rising from the sea of pitch. But here, there is nothing. No air, no atmosphere, no life whatsoever, save for you and the spiders whose work nears completion. Just as you were contemplating how anything can exist at all in this awful world between worlds, you hear a sound like the stretching and tearing of fabric. Then a rush of billowing air erupts all around you, filling the vastness of the realm like dust in a vacuum. The wind must be coming from somewhere, and that can only mean one thing. Worlds are starting to merge. Shuffle the discard pile into the deck. Yikes. Okay. Alright, so we'll give that a shuffle. Look at our new agenda before we go into encounter cards. Give that a cut. And here's our new agenda. Agenda 2A, A Trail of Twists. In this void between realities, there can be no hope or joy, just the ceaseless toiling of spiders performing their great work, closer and closer to completion with each passing moment. This agenda gets +2 Doom per investigator Doom threshold. Forced. When this agenda advances, do not remove Doom from locations in play. Need 9, aka 13 to advance, but we're down 5 right now. So that's unfortunate. Jenny draws. Endless Weaving. Choose a spider enemy in play. If it's engaged with an investigator, it makes an immediate attack while there are no spider enemies in play. Otherwise, place a Doom on its location. If there are no spider enemies in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a spider enemy and draw it. Shuffle the encounter deck. So I think the spider we're going to grab... Ooh. We are going to grab the web spinner because I think we're probably close to advancing this round. We're probably going to try to advance this round. So we'll put the web spinner at the topmost location. As long as Ursula does not draw an enemy this round, I can probably advance. We can probably advance. Alright, so let's see what Ursula draws for her Mythos card. She draws Endless Weaving. This actually I don't mind, because now we choose a spider enemy in play and put a Doom on its location. So that actually kind of does help us a little bit. Anyway, that will do it for the Mythos phase. We'll move back into the investigation phase, and our first investigator will be Jenny, and we'll start over at the map. Jenny is right here in the middle of the shot. Action 1 will bring her down to the web stairs. Action 2 will bring her down to the bottommost location. Then for Action 3, we're actually going to play one of her resource dumps. We're going to play Hard Knocks. So I don't get the resources yet. I won't get them until the start of the round. But it will be very nice to have those handy. So that will do it for Jenny. Ursula, before her turn even officially starts, so this is a fast action before her turn officially starts. So Pathfinder, actually, let me double check that. I want to make sure I do have an open player window coming into the round. Or coming into her investigation phase. I do actually have, investigator's turn ends, return to 2.2. So actually no, I do have to take her first action. So action 1 is going to be to play a second copy of Fieldwork. So now I've got both of those. Now I've got a fast action, so now I'll Pathfinder up to the Great Web, exhaust both Fieldworks. I'm up 4. Actually, yeah, we'll use a free action as well. 4, 8. I'm actually up only 3. -1 gets the last clue we need. Action 2, I'll move back down. And now we have the 6 clues to spend, so Ursula will spend those to advance the act. Come on. There we go. Alright. The Edge of Dreams. Read Scenario Interlude, The Spider Queen in the campaign guide. Then advance to Act 2A, The Weaver of the Cosmos. Alright. So, looks like we're going into the Scenario Interlude.
Scenario Interlude, The Spider Queen. The Spider Queen 1. You climb a precipice of stone and behold the enormity of the spider's bridge and the thing astride it. Atlak Naka, god of spiders, accompanied by its horde of weavers, many light monstrosities continuously intertwined strands of cosmic web, toiling endlessly with nightmarish fervor. As the awful creatures weave each thread, you feel reality and dreams distort, collide, and crash together. In the distance, waves of dream break upon the rocks of reality, and reality collapses upon itself into the surging, amorphous dream. You can barely comprehend the strange, shifting vistas. A sticky web hangs off the side of your vantage point, like a silken ladder leading down to your doom. Check campaign log. If Randolph survived the descent and the Black Cat knows the truth, proceed to the Spider Queen 2. Otherwise, if Randolph survived the descent, skip to the Spider Queen 3. If Randolph did not survive the descent, skip to the Spider Queen 4.
Okay, so looking at our prompts, Randolph survived the descent, but the Black Cat does not know the truth, so we go to Spider Queen 3.
The Spider Queen 3. You begin to climb down the web to the platform below, from which you can reach the edge of the bridge and Adlak Naka itself. Halfway down, the suspended platform jolts and starts to sway violently from side to side. You grip the silken threads tightly, hoping that the sticky web will keep you from falling. You look to Randolph to make sure he is okay, and it is then that you notice he is not climbing above you as you had suspected he would. You look up to find your companion scowling at you from above, a blade of onyx in his hands. He has cut a segment of the web upon which you are climbing. You have no time to ask what he is doing before he severs the web completely. You plummet to the rocks below, landing painfully on your back. When you look back up at Randolph, his countenance has changed. Foolish mortals, I was never going to allow you to save your companions. You have an errand of mine to run, and that is your sole purpose. If you wish to live, complete this task for me. He peers across at the unfathomable spider that looms before you. I shall be the one to claim your world, not that thing. Then, Not Randolph simply turns and walks away. In your campaign log, record the investigators are trapped in Adlak Naka's realm. If an investigator's deck contains Randolph Carter, change to the Waking World, the Dream Eater's card number 79. Remove him from that deck for the remainder of the campaign. Depending on your difficulty...
Alright, climb up for a second. Okay, so there's Randolph Carter, changed to the Waking World. He was in Ursula's deck, so we've got to take him out. And we will find... well, I'm not going to spoil it just yet. Carry on.
Add a token to the chaos bag as follows. Easy, -3. Standard, -4. Hard, -5. Expert, -7.
Alright, so...
Spider Queen 4.
Shut up a second. We're going into the Spider Queen 4 in a second, but first, there's the -3, which is going into the bag. And we got a quick scramble. Alright. Carry on.
The creature is close to completing its design. Its legs move about swiftly, spinning thread after thread of cosmic silk with unearthly determination. It scarcely even recognizes your presence. Perhaps if you could sever its legs, or tear apart the webbing on which it stands. Remove each location from the game except for the bottommost location. Shift that location upward so it is at the top of the play area. Shuffle the remaining set-aside...
Okay, quiet a second. Alright, so that's the only part. I'm going to go through the rest of the recording, but I'm going to do the vast majority of setup off camera. So we'll move this to the discard pile. So these locations are going out of play. The only one that's staying in play is this location because it's our bottommost location. It's about to become the topmost location. Alright, so, yep. Okay, so that will move up. Alright.
Locations and place 7 of them in a circle, along with the investigator's location, as the topmost location in the circle. Until the end of the scenario, each location is connected to each location next to it, clockwise or counterclockwise from it. Assemble Adlak Naka by performing the following steps in order. Find the double-sided Adlak Naka card and flip it to the side that only has art on it. Arrange the 4 legs of Adlak Naka enemies next to it as depicted in the following diagram. Place the assembled Adlak Naka in the center of the play area between all 8 locations, so one corner of each legs of Adlak Naka enemy touches a different location. Shuffle each set-aside copy of the Spinner of Darkness into the encounter deck, along with the encounter discard pile. Read the rules of Adlak Naka as follows.
Alright, I'm going to do all that setup, all the rest of that setup off camera. I've been doing a little bit here. but there's a lot to do, so I will come back with setup all done. And there is Atlach Naka, all in its full assembled glory. Big spider, no? Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at one of these legs of Atlach Naka. So, Ancient One Spider Elite, Massive, does 1/1 on attack. This enemy cannot make attacks of opportunity. X is the shroud value of this enemy's location. So, X combat, 3 per investigator or 6, 3 evade, victory 1. Forced, when you would evade this enemy, instead of exhausting it, choose an investigator at your location. This enemy cannot attack the chosen investigator this round. So that's all there is there. Now, the dice on there are mostly for me to help me keep the legs straight, so I can talk about, okay, I'm going to go after leg 2, or I need to hunt down leg 4, whatever. So that's what the dice are for. They're not representative of the health. I'll actually be keeping track of the health on the side. It might be a little bit tough to see, but that's where that's going to go. So anyway, let's zoom back out so we can see the new map. So as you can see, what was originally the bottommost location in our starting descent has now become our topmost location. So now we're going to extend the legs of Atlach Naka out so that each corner is touching a different location. They say to keep the whole thing in a circle like this. They say to rotate the whole thing in a circle, but I find it easier to just stretch the legs out and rotate it that way. But I'm getting ahead of myself with the spinning. I'm getting ahead of myself with the spinning of Atlach Naka. I'll talk about that in a second when we go. I'll talk about that more when we go through the new act. All right, so there are the legs spread out. Okay, so Atlach Naka cannot be moved by anything except anything that spins Atlach Naka. So there's that to keep in mind. Then when we are instructed to spin, we'll move either the legs or the or Atlach Naka itself in a clockwise pattern by the number of times we're supposed to spin it. So that's all set to go. Now let's go through the new act. Act 2A, the Weaver of the Cosmos. Atlach Naka is distracted by its mindless task. Now is your chance. As an action, spend 1 clue, deal 3 damage to an Ancient One enemy at your location. Forced, when the Mythos Phase begins, reveal a random token from the Chaos Bag. If its modifier is negative, spin Atlach Naka clockwise X times, where X is the token's negative modifier. Objective, if 4 legs of Atlach Naka are in the victory display, advance. Now, I think we got the most help by dropping down and getting a lot of Doom cleared off the board. So now, essentially, we're reset. Except for the 2 Doom, we have everything that we're starting with. Then Ursula's final action, actually she's going to spend 1 resource on a fast to attach a shortcut to the Great Web. So we'll be able to use that to move around. And then since these legs only do 1 and 1, action 3, let's explore and figure out a little bit more about what we're up against. We do not have Ursula's free investigate available, so we do need to keep that in mind. So we'll move over to this Great Web. Alright, Shroud of 1, 2 clues. As an additional cost to investigate this location, you must either spend an action or place 1 Doom on this location. So we'll have to see if we can get those clues off. Well, I don't think we're going to waste a deduction on a Shroud of 1. But a tempo play might not be a bad idea for that. But that will do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, Ursula does take 1 and 1 from the leg of Atlach Naka that's right there. So there's her 1 and 1. This 1 will actually become a 2 on the damage front. Nobody's in play there. So we will go ahead and reset everything. And then we'll move back up top once I get everything reset, including the minis. We'll move back up top for the Upkeep Phase. We're back up top for the Upkeep Phase. Ursula will gain a resource go up to 1. Jenny will gain 2 and go up to 4, and Jenny will draw. For twin 45s, X, where X is the number of resources you sink into it, and that's also the ammo. Spend an action. It's basically the Thompson with potentially more, with a lot more ammo potential on it. Ursula draws. Unexpected Courage. We saw this earlier. It's a 2 question mark card. Alright, so that will do it for the Upkeep Phase. Nothing happens at end of round. For the Mythos Phase, let's move over to the map. We're over here for the Mythos Phase. Mythos Phase begins, we spin Atlak Naka. Let's see how many times we're spinning. We are not spinning, actually. That was a +1. So now we go into the normal Mythos fun and games. Doom will go up onto the agenda. We'll go up to 3 in play. Jenny will draw. Caught in a Web. You get -1 agility and can't take more than 1 move action each round. As an action, you have to test Combat 3. If you succeed, discard it. That's unfortunate. Ursula draws. Spider of Lang. Oh boy. Forced. When the enemy phase ends, add a swarm card to each swarm of spiders enemy in play. If there are no swarm of spiders in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a swarm of spiders and spawn it at Spider of Lang's location with no swarm cards. That comes engaged with Ursula. That thing probably needs to go away on the express plan. So, I think as long as we're here at the map, we'll go ahead and start with Jenny. So we'll exhaust Shortcut to move over to the Great Web. Action 1, we'll take a shot at the Spider of Lang. So 2, we'll commit an Overpower to get her up 4. I probably should engage first, but I want to see if I can make the action tempo. Oh, and before I go any further, Hard Knocks gets its 2 resources. So right now, we are up 4, trying to do 2 damage. Alright, that is 2 damage on the Spider of Lang. And we get to draw a card from Overpower. Jenny draws. Emergency Cash. Gain 3 resources. That will be handy. Right, that was action 1 to take a shot. Action 2, we'll run it back. This time we'll run an Unexpected Courage into the test to keep her up 4. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the draw this time, but I want that spider dead if we can get it there. Tentacle touched. So Ursula takes the 2 damage. Fantastic. Was not what I had in mind at all. So 2 damage for Ursula. Action 3. Will be... Might as well just run that back and try to kill it. So... Actually, yeah, Shortcut was over. Action 1, shoot. Action 2, shoot. Yeah, Action 3, shoot. And Jenny's going to spend her 2 resources off of Hard Knocks to get back up 4. Can we have a little less of the tentacle, please, Jenny? Cultist is... Reveal another token. If you fail and there's an Ancient One enemy at your location, it attacks you. Uh-oh. There is an Ancient One enemy at the location. The legs of Atlach not. So we are still up 4. And a 0 does kill the Spider of Lang. Fantastic. Alright. So that was all 3 of Jenny's actions. That will end her turn. Ursula will go second. She is actually going to move down to... She's actually going to move down to this great web right here. So let's see what we've got waiting for us down here. We're probably going to use a free investigate coming out of this, but I'm getting ahead of myself once again. Shroud of 4, 2 clues. Forced. After you enter this location, test Agility 3. If you fail, you must either lose an action for each point you failed by, or place a doom on this location. We'll get the 2 clues in a second. Exhaust both copies of field work, unfortunately, but because that is, if you move to a location, if that location has at least 1 clue on it, that's a foot 3. That's an Agility 3. Actually, we're just going to exhaust 1 copy of field work to get her, to put her up 3. Okay, a 0 lets her survive that. That was action 1. Action 2, we'll go ahead and investigate, and I'll commit unexpected courage to bring her up 2. Skull is minus X, where X is the highest number of doom on a location in play. Right now that's 2, so we do get a clue coming out of the... Was that? No, that was... Yes, that was actually her free investigate, I think. Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Action 1 was to move down, which used that. Action 2, field work. Yeah, that was her fast action. Then action 3 will run the investigate back at even. Hey, look at that! A 0 gets her the other clue. So that's cool, which means now Ursula can kill an Ancient One for free. So the question is, coming out of the fast action, do I want to move her again? I don't think I... Okay, so we ran the investigate back. We do have an open player window coming out of this last action, but I don't think we're going to move her right now. Her health is a little low for comfort, so I think we're going to leave her where she is. So that will do it for Ursula. On the enemy phase, Jenny does take 1 and 1, so we'll get her 1 and 1 out. There we go. I'll flip them right side up. There's her 1 and 1. And then that brings us into the upkeep phase once I reset everything. Alright, we will move back up top for the upkeep phase. We're back for the Mythos phase. Ursula will gain 1 resource and go up to 2. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go to 6, and then she'll draw another emergency cache to gain 3 resources. That'll be handy. Ursula will draw Tooth of Esley. You get +1 will and +1 agility while resolving an ability on a treachery card. As a reaction, if you succeed after you succeed at a skill test while resolving an ability on a treachery card, exhaust Tooth to draw a card. So that will probably be very useful. And now we'll move right back over to the map for the Mythos phase. Mythos phase brings us 2 resources for Hard Knocks. Come on. There we go. Right, 2 resources going on Hard Knocks. And then how much are we spinning on Laknaka? Skull is minus X, where X is the number of doom in play, so we're actually spinning twice. So basically what's going to happen here is each leg is going to move 2 locations. So essentially leg 1 is going to move to where leg 2 is now, and so on and so forth. So we will move leg 1, then leg 3 will take leg 1's place, then leg 4 will take leg 3's place, and leg 2 will move down here. Ow. Okay. So that's all that's done. Now Mythos time, or Mythos cards proper. Jenny draws. Oh, good grief. A web spinner. So that spawns at any empty location, but it's aloof. At the end of the round, if web spinner is ready, place a doom on its location. The problem there is everything just readies at the end of the round, so it'll always be ready no matter what. Unless we go kill it, which we might have to. Ursula draws. Crypt Chill. Test Will 4. If you succeed, choose and discard an asset you control. If you can't, take 2 damage instead. Ugh. This could be bad. I think I gotta commit the Tooth and get to even. Because I really do not want to lose this setup. -1, I'm going to discard a copy of Field Work. That was very unfortunate, but I at least wanted to give myself a chance to get past it. So anyway, that will do it for the Mythos phase. Investigation phase now begins, and now I have an open player window. I do, but it needs to be during her turn. So I think Ursula is going to go first. Yes. Alright, so Ursula will start. For her first action, Ursula is going to move up to the Great Web. I'm not going to use her free investigate yet. So I think for her second and third actions, we're going to spend 2 clues to kill that leg. So leg 3 has just taken 6 damage, and it's now in the victory display. So we'll put 6 damage next to leg 3. Come on. There we go. Right, so leg 3 is in the victory display. And now coming out of her last action, we're going to use Pathfinder to move over here, to move over to that location. We'll exhaust Field Work to get +2, which puts us up 1. And I'll commit her copy of Hyper Awareness to bring her up 2 to get one of those clues. A 0 gets her a clue. Very nice. And then as another fast action, I'll shortcut Ursula over to this Great Web. Yeah, I'm probably going to be moving her next turn anyway. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Alright, action. Okay, so Vast Web. Shroud of 3, 4 clues. As an action, if it is not Act 1 and there are 1 per or fewer investigators, or 1 per investigator or fewer clues on this location, move. Move to the location directly across from this location. Now, again, we have already used her free investigate. Okay, we get the 4 clues. And then just for clarity's sake, from that great web location up there, Ursula would, directly across, Ursula would end up down here. So that's how that works out. But anyway, that will do it for Ursula. Jenny's turn in the investigation phase. We'll flip over all 3 of Ursula's action icons, or action tokens. Jenny's first action is going to be to spend 5 resources to play her friend Leo DeLuca, who is very much a sight for sore eyes right now. So that'll give her an additional action, plus 2 and 2 on soak. So we'll get her additional action token, which we'll put by her dashboard. So now Jenny has 4 actions, but she only has 3 left. So for action 2, excuse me, she's going to move back over to the Great Web. Action 3 will be to engage this web spinner. And then action 4, we're going to take a shot from the Thompson at it, up 3. Elder Sign is another +1, so the web spinner is very dead, which I'm not happy, which I have no problem with in the least. And then for action 4, we're going to play one of her copies of Emergency Cache to gain 3 resources. So Jenny will gain 3 resources and go up to 4. And then that will do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, there are no relevant hunter enemies in play right now. So we're going to move back up, so we're going to start re-readying everything. Actually, I take that back. Ursula does take 1 and 1, so I've got to try to get her out of there. So she's going to take 1 and 1, go up to 5 damage and 2 horror. Anyway, now we're going to move back. Now we're going to re-ready everything. And now that that's done, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to move back up top for the Upkeep phase. Upkeep phase, Ursula will gain 1 resource, go to 3. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go to 6. Ursula draws a Perception, which can draw her a card on a successful lore test. Jenny will draw the Moon's 18, get +1 agility. This would have been, the reaction would have been relevant at the start of the game if it was in her hand, but it wasn't, so it's not. But anyway, that will do it for the Upkeep phase. It was a very short Upkeep phase. Nothing happens at end of round because we killed the only enemy that could have done anything at end of round. So we're right back over to the map for the Mythos phase. We're back over to the map for the Mythos phase. At the start of round, Hard Knocks would replenish, but it's already got its full complement of resources on it. So now we're going to see if we're spinning Atlak Naka. I would not mind it spinning to get it away from Ursula. Get the leg away from Ursula. -2, so that will save Ursula an action, which means Ursula will be the only one without a leg at her location. Well, Ursula's... never mind. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we move the legs of Atlak Naka. That does indeed get them away from Ursula. Mythos... okay, so now Doom goes up on the agenda, which puts us at 4 Doom in play. Ursula draws. Will of the Spider Mother. Test Will 3. If there's a spider enemy at your location, you can't commit cards to this skill test. If you fail, you can't attack or investigate until the end of this round. That's going to be a problem. But I don't have any will in my hand, so I'm at even. Which actually might not be a terrible thing. Tentacle Touch says Ursula is not investigating this round. Normally after the last week, that tentacle would probably go flying. But right now, I actually don't mind it too much because I do need to get Ursula into her deck a little bit. I need to do a little bit of digging. So that's not altogether unwelcome. Jenny draws. Obscuring Fog. Attached to your location. Attached location gets +2 Shroud. Forced. After attached location is successfully investigated, discard this card. So that is now a Shroud of 7. Yuck. Alright, so now we're into the Mythos, or now we're into the investigation phase. Our first investigator will be Ursula. So I think we're going to, so for her first action, I think Ursula is going to draw a card. She will draw Jake Williams, her signature ally. For action 2, she'll draw another card. The Chthonian Stone, Stygian Waymark, this is a seal that can seal a bad symbol except for a tentacle. But if you pull a tentacle during a test, it comes back to your hand. And then we'll draw another card. Manual Dexterity. Not entirely what I wanted to see, but it did let us at least refill our hand a little bit. So there's that. That will do it for, anyway, that will do it for Ursula. So go ahead and flip her card over. Jenny, what is Jenny doing this round? That is a good question. Alright, first thing she's going to do is she's going to try to get rid of her Caught in the Web. So we're going to spend the 2 resources from Hard Knocks to put her up 2. Is there anything else I want to commit to this? There is not. So up 2. Alright, -1 gets rid of Caught in a Web. Then I'm going to shortcut over... where am I going to shortcut over to? That leg is a Shroud of 1. I'm tempted to go blasting it. Action 2 will be to play an emergency cache to gain another 3 resources. So that'll bring her up to 9. I will shortcut over to the Webwoven Island. Action 3, I'll take a shot with the Thompson. I'm up 4, trying to do 2 damage. Alright, the Elder thing is... -3. If the skill test fails during an attack against a spider enemy, which that is a spider, place a doom on that enemy's location, except I didn't fail because I was up 4. So that is 2 damage going on leg 4. And then speaking of the number 4, action 4. Bye! She's leaving. Alright, so that will do it for Jenny in the that'll do it for Jenny, that'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, no hunter enemies that are relevant. So we'll reset everything. Reset the action tokens as well. And then we'll move back up top for the upkeep phase. We're back up top for the upkeep phase. Ursula will gain 1 resource and go to 4 resources. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go to 11 resources. And then Ursula will draw. Eureka! Will, lore, and agility on commit. If the skill test is successful, the investigator performing the test searches the top 3 cards of his or her deck for a card, draws it, and shuffles his or her deck. The important thing right now is that for the time being, higher education is turned on, so I do need to keep that in mind. Jenny draws. Come on. Alright. Manual Dexterity. Skill cantrip for agility. So anyway, that will do it for the Upkeep Phase. Start of round, before we move into the Mythos Phase proper, Hard Knocks gets its resources replenished, and now we'll move back over to the map for the rest of the Mythos Phase. Alright, we're back over to the map for the Mythos Phase. Let's see how much we're spinning Atlach Naka. Three times. Okay, so leg 4 is going to end up 1, 2, 3 down here. 1, 2, 3. Leg 4, leg 2 is going to end up on top of Jenny. And then leg 1, 1, 2, 3 is going to end up right here. Although that's a Shroud of 5 to hit. Jenny is not hitting that in her dreams. Mythos time. Actually, she might be able to hit that, but that's going to be a hard test to pass. But Third Doom is going up on the agenda. We're actually at 5 in play right now. Ursula went first. She will draw. Ancient Evils. So that just puts another Doom up on the agenda, which brings us up to 6. Jenny draws. Caught in a Web again. I just got rid of this, Jenny. So, yeah, we're going to need to get rid of that again from the looks of it. But that will do it for the Mythos Phase. Investigation Phase. Let's lead off with 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? Let's lead off with... This could be bad either way. So I've got the leg right there, but it's a Shroud of 5, and Jenny's not hitting that in a million years. At least not with the firepower in her hand. So I think what we're going to do is we are actually going to start with Ursula once again. For action 1, she's going to draw a card. Let's see what she draws. Another shortcut. This is not entirely unwelcome. Action 2, she's going to use Pathfinder. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to move her down to... I'm planning on moving her down to this location, but I'm not leaving her there all turn. So for a fast action coming out of action 1, she's going to move down to this location, and we'll see what we have over here. I need to get that out of the way. Alright, so Ursula's down here with leg 4. And what's over here? Shroud of 4, 2 clues. After you enter this location, test Agility 3. If you fail, either lose an action for each point you failed by, or place a Doom on the location. So we'll get the Doom for that. We'll also get the 2 clues. And then Ursula will exhaust Field Work to make that test up 3. And I'm going to commit Eureka to bring her up 4. Mostly, again, so I can go into her deck a little further. Right, the Elder thing, I'm pretty sure does not stop us. So that was a 3, she's at 4, 6, 7. Alright, so the Elder thing is -3. If this skill test fails during an attack against a spider enemy, place 1 Doom on that enemy's location. So we don't fail. Eureka goes off, so we get to search the top 3 for a card. First card up. Milan, you are a sight for sore eyes, my friend. I'm very tempted to take you right here. Mind over matter. You can use your combat or your lore in place of your combat and agility. I think this is if this is not a deduction, I'm probably taking Milan. Ooh, that's almost as good though. That's Pathfinder. This is a decision, so I know I don't want Mind over Matter. Pathfinder or Milan? This is a tough one. Pathfinder, you see, we've been using to great success. Milan can pump her lore up as well, and I still haven't taken my free investigate yet. So resources are proving to be a little bit of a problem, which makes me want to take Milan. But I know I need mobility, so I'm very tempted to take Pathfinder. I think we're going to take Milan here. That is a tough. That was a tough decision. I know. Like I said, I know I need to keep things moving, but on the same token, I definitely need mobility. So I think we're going to use her free investigate here. We're going to use her free investigate next. So I'm at Shroud of 4. And I'm at even. I'll commit perception to go up 2. And I'll spend a resource from higher ed to go up 3. +1 gets her a clue and a card. Alright, so we'll take the clue, and we will draw. Call of the Unknown. Fortunately, we're not going to have to deal with this until next turn. But we do not want to see that right now. At the beginning of your turn, choose a location other than your location. When your turn... Let's go ahead for this. Alright, Revelation, put it into play in your threat area. Forced, at the beginning of your turn, choose a location other than your location. When your turn ends, if you did not successfully investigate the chosen location this turn, take 2 horror and shuffle Call of the Unknown back into your deck. Okay, so that's actually going to Ursula's threat area. Actions 2 and 3, I think are going to be to blast leg 4. You know what, let's spend 1 clue to do 3 damage for action 2. And then action 3, I just want to get her out of there. Come on. Alright, so that will do it for Ursula. Jenny has her full turn. For action 1, she's going to try to get rid of Caught on a Web again. And she's going to spend 2 resources from Hard Knocks to go up 2, and 1 from her pool to go up 3. Alright, +1 gets rid of that, so that's convenient. Place of Doom. We actually have a lot of Doom to play with right now, so I'm tempted to just bite the bullet on that and start trying to get some of these clues so I can mow these legs down a little faster. We're at 4, 5, 6, 7 of 13. So I'm actually going to shortcut back over here. Action 2, I'm going to investigate, and yes, I'm going to put a Doom up. I'm going to tempt fate, but I'm up 2. And that's where I'll test, up 2. That is a -2, so we do get a clue. And then for action 3, I'm actually going to run that back, and I'm going to spend her last action there as well. So I'm still up 2. A 0 gets her the other clue. Cool. Alright, so that will do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, there are no relevant enemies in play. So I'll go ahead and re-ready everything. And then we will move back up top for the upkeep phase. We're back up top for the upkeep phase. I'll finish readying everything here. Action tokens. I really like these action tokens. 3, 4. There we go. Alright, Ursula will gain a resource, go back up to 4. Jenny will gain 2 resources, go up to 12. Ursula will draw. Another copy of Milan. Alright. Don't really need 2 copies, but okay. And then Jenny will draw. Watch this. Okay, this is a skill dump, or skill commit that we can put resources into as well to try to generate resources that way. But anyway, that will do it for the investigation, or for the upkeep phase. And a round, nothing happens. Start a round before we go into the Mythos phase. 2 resources go back on Hard Knocks. Now we'll move back over to the map for the Mythos phase. We're back up top for the Mythos phase. Let's see how many times we're spinning Atlak Naka. I would not mind 1 spin, because 1 spin means Jenny can kill a leg, and Ursula can wound 1. Unfortunately, that's a 3 spin, but that might... No, that's not going to work either. Alright, so leg 4, which is already grievously wounded, will spin 1, 2, 3. Leg 2 will move 1, 2, 3. Then leg 1 is actually going to land right on top of Ursula. So 1, 2, 3. We might have a chance to kill leg 1, but I gotta think about how I want to do that. I'm getting ahead of myself as usual, though. So Doom will be going up on the agenda, which brings us to 5, 6... Where's my laser pointer? Here you are. Alright, so 1 here, 4 on the agenda right now is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, and then Ursula draws. Swarm of spiders. Forget the killing a leg plan. We need to get Jenny over there and try to kill this. Fortunately, I think we can get her over there pretty easily. Jenny draws. Her own swarm of spiders. I spoke too soon. Ah, fantastic. Okay. So, now we're into the investigation phase. Not the time to be drawing spiders, Jenny. Alright, so... Actually, Jenny will have to go first. I think she's got to try to evade the swarm of spiders. I'm going to commit manual dexterity to get her up 2. And I'm going to commit watch this to put her up 3, and I'm going to put 3 resources into it. So I'm up 3, trying to get 6 resources if I succeed by 1 or more, plus a card. Cultist is... Reveal another token. If you fail and there's an Ancient One enemy at your location, it attacks you. Fortunately, there is not an Ancient One enemy at the location, but we're still in a bit of trouble. So Jenny is still up 3. The Elders... The Elder Sign is a +9 on this test. So, actually, let's take a look at Jenny's Elder Sign. I don't think we've seen it once all campaign. +1 for each resource you have. Right now, that is a +9. So, the Swarm of Spiders is definitely evaded. Manual Dexterity goes off, which gives us a card. Jenny draws. Another copy of Watch This. That's not entirely unwelcome. And then Watch This, then her original Watch This goes off to give Jenny 6 resources, bringing her up to 15. Alright, then action 2 will be to move back over to the Great Web, the topmost location from earlier. Shortcut over to Ursula at that Great Web. Then action 1 was to evade, action 2 to move, and then shortcut. Action 3, we're going to spend 9. Yeah, we're going to put 9 resources into Jenny's twin 45s. So they're going to come in with 9 ammo. I'll get the ammo out for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was action 3, 8. I'm not going to take the 9th ammo because I'm going to spend 1 to attack Ursula's Swarm of Spiders. She's up 2. Oh boy. Wait a second. I really don't want to miss this, because if I miss, I take Ursula out. And then Jenny's not going to last too much longer. So, I know there are -3s in the bag, plus the tentacle. So, I'm at 2. Right now I'm up 2. I'm going to spend the 2 resources from Hard Knocks to put her up 4. And I'm going to commit a copy. This is probably overkill, but I'm going to commit a copy of Watch This to get her up 5 and put 3 resources in it, so I can start on her. So I can get her resources back up again. So I'm up 5. If I succeed by 1 or more, I get 6 resources back, and take 2 of Ursula's swarms out. A +1 kills 2 of Ursula's swarms, which is what we wanted. Fantastic. Alright, and Jenny gets 6 resources back from that, so she's right back up to 9, and the 45 Thompson also is discarded when I played the 45s. I just didn't get to that point yet. Alright, so let me think here. So action 1 was to evade the swarm, action 2 was to move. Shortcut, action 3, action 4. Okay, so Jenny's turn is over. Ursula is going to... Actually, I want to try to get this rat... I want to just take it... Well, first of all, I've got to name a location for Call of the Unknown. I'm going to name the Great Web up top here. So that's going to be her location. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to it, but we're going to try. So action 1, she is going to evade, and I'm going to commit... she's up 3. Yeah, I think we're fine to evade up 3. Alright, a 0 evades the swarm. That'll come back to Jenny in the Mythos phase, but I can deal with that. Action 2, I'm going to move her over to this top web. Actually, before I do that, action 2 is going to be to spend Ursula's 4 resources to play 1 of her copies of Dr. Milan Christopher. +1 lore, and after you successfully investigate, gain a resource. So we'll get her resource generation going again. Action 3, now I'll move her over to the Great Web. I'll exhaust field work. So 4, Milan brings me up to 5. Field work brings me up to 7, which is even. Alright, I'm going to commit her copy of Jake Williams to go up 2. Up 2. Skull doubles. Skull is -X, where X is the highest amount of doom on a location in play, which is 2. So we do pass. We get the clue, which also stops Call of the Unknown from going off, and it discards Obscuring Fog, all of which are phenomenal. So we get another clue, which means if we have legs land, if that leg 1 stays put, it's dead. Ursula can also kill a leg if we have 1 land on her, which actually would not be a bad thing at all right now. So that is it for Ursula's turn. Enemy phase, Jenny takes... wait a minute. Okay, evade, move, free investigate. That was a free... Oh, she had to play Milan first. Okay, never mind. Which reminds me, Ursula also gets a resource from successfully investigating at the Great Web. Go up to 1. Alright, so enemy phase, nothing happened. Actually, Jenny takes 1 and 1. Because there's still the leg of Atlak Naka there. So 1 and 1 for Jenny. She'll go up to 2 damage and 4 sanity. And then everything will re-ready. The swarm will make friends with Jenny, which I'd rather it be on Jenny than Ursula right now. Alright, everything re-readies, and we'll move back up top for the upkeep phase. We're back up top for the upkeep phase. Ursula will gain 1 resource and go up to 2. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go up... Where's our other resource? There. We'll gain 2 resources and go up to 11. Jenny will draw. A 41 Derringer, which I'm not going to be going anywhere near right now with the 45s in play. Ursula draws. Magnifying Glass. Fast, you get +1 lore while investigating. Let me also remember to reset the action tokens. Alright, once I do that, that will do it for the upkeep phase. End of round, nothing happens. Start of round, Hard Knocks replenishes its resources. And then we move over to the map for the Mythos phase. We're back over to the map for the Mythos phase. Let's see how much we're spinning out Atlak Naka. Cultist is not spinning Atlak Naka at all. So that could be welcome. Right, Doom is going up to 2, 4, 5. Okay, so going up to 10 Doom on the agenda. Ursula will draw. Crypt Chill. Test Will 4. If you fail, choose and discard an asset you control. If you can't, take 2 damage instead. Okay. I'm going to spend 2 resources into higher education to put her up 3 from down 1. Alright, a 0 keeps us safe from Crypt Chill. Jenny draws. Sickening Webs. Attached to your location. Each spider enemy at attached location gains Retaliate and Alert, and investigators can't move out of attached location. As an action, test Combat or Agility 3. If you succeed, discard it. That's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Alright, that brings us back into the investigation phase. First up, I think will be Jenny, actually. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out this swarm of spiders. I'm going to spend an ammo from her 45s to put me up 4, because I don't want to take a chance on Retaliate and Alert. Right. The Elder thing is a -3 as we saw earlier. And I was up 4 against I was up 4. So the Swarm of Spiders is dead. Action 2, I'm going to get rid of that Sickening Webs. I'm going to try to get rid of that Sickening Webs. So I'm at even right now. I'm going to spend 2 resources from... Which one am I testing? Yikes. I can't move out of that location. I'm going to take another hit. I don't think I want to take another hit. So I think... Okay, no, this is action 2 still. So I'm going to spend the 2 resources from Hard Knocks to go up 2, and 2 from her pool to go up 4. Alright, -3 gets rid of this Sickening Webs, so that's gone. And then actions 3 and 4, we're going to spend Jenny's 2 clues to put leg 1 in the victory display. So, leg 1 is now in the victory display. So right now, we're actually in a pretty good situation so far. So legs 1 and 3 are dead. 4 has 1 health left. And 2, well, 2 hasn't been touched yet, but we're definitely going to be looking into that this turn. We're probably not going to go after it this turn, but it does give us some options. So Ursula is up next. Her location, her Call of the Unknown location, is going to be the Great Web where Jenny is right now. She's going to shortcut over to it, use Fieldwork to give her a free Investigate. She's, well, her ability is going to give her a free Investigate. She's up, let's see, that's a Shroud of 3. She's at 4, 5, 6, 7. She's up 4. The Elder Sign is +1 and a free move, but I actually want to stay there this turn. So Ursula gets a clue, Call of the Unknown doesn't go off, and she gets a resource, so she's back up to 1. Now for action 1, she's going to investigate. She's going to run that all back. Actually, before she does that, fast action... Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, never mind. Fast action, we're going to spend a resource to play Magnifying Glass. Right, actual action 1 is going to be to investigate. I guess I forgot. She doesn't act... Well, however we're doing this. I'm just... Okay, let me look at this again. Next investigator's turn. Okay, there is a... Okay, so when her turn begins, there is an open player window. Never mind. So I've been dumb this whole time. I thought I needed to take an action, but after the formal step of the next investigator's turn begins, you actually do have an open player window. So shortcut was during that. So yeah, and then free investigate. Action 1 will be, we played Magnifying Glass, so actual action 1 is going to be to investigate. We are up 4, 5, 6, we're up 3. -1 gets her another clue and a resource. Oh, come on. There we go. Action 2, we'll run that back. Still up 3. Get another clue. Let's see. Shortcut over, free investigate. Fast play Magnifying Glass. Action 1, investigate. Action 2, investigate. Yep. I think action 3 is going to be to run that investigate back. So we're up. So we're still up 3. And we've emptied that location of clues. Amazing. So all we have to do right now is start running legs down. But anyway, that will do it for the... Actually, do I want to split them up? That could be a bad plan with Ursula as banged up as she is. It would save her an action in case we get a big spin on Outlock Naka. Yeah, let's go ahead and split them up. So I'm going to move Ursula back over to the Great Web. Keep them at like one location apart from each other. But anyway, that will do it. And then the successful investigate got her another resource to bring her up to 3. Alright, so enemy phase, no relevant enemies in play. We'll start re-readying everything. And we'll move up top, once we do that, for the upkeep phase. We're back up top for the upkeep phase. Ursula gains 1 resource, goes up to 4. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go up to 11. Jenny will draw. Stunning blow. If the skill test is successful during an attack, automatically evade the attacked enemy. Cool. Ursula draws. Guts. We've seen this before. Alright, so that will do it for the upkeep phase. Start of round, Hard Knocks replenishes. And now we'll move back over to the map for the Mythos phase. We're back over to the map for the Mythos phase. Now's a time where I actually probably wouldn't mind a big spin on Outlock Naka. So let's see what we get. That is not what I had in mind, but I suppose it's, well, we can probably deal with it. But anyway, Doom is going up on the agenda next. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will bring us up to 11 Doom on the agenda. Ursula will... Jenny went first. Ursula will draw. Sickening Webs. Attached to your location. Each spider enemy at attached location gains Retaliate and Alert. Investigators can't move out of attached location. We saw this before. So basically Ursula needs to get rid of that. Jenny will draw. Ancient Evils, which puts another Doom up. So 8 on the agenda, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're advancing next round. But that will do it for the Mythos phase. In the investigation phase, yuck. So I do need to get rid of that Sickening Webs post-haste. Unfortunately, well, I might be able to get rid of that. So I'll have Ursula lead us off. Once again, so for her first action, she is going to try to get rid of that, and I'm going to commit... Actually, before I do that, I need to name a location. I'm going to name... What am I going to name? Actually, a better question is, am I going to be able to stop myself from taking 2 horror this round? Probably not. That swarm of spiders needs to die, though. If they're coming in this direction, do I care? Probably not. But I will name this location anyway. Alright, so I will commit manual dexterity for action 1, trying to get rid of the Sickening Webs, up 2. We'll kick in the other shortcut to go up 3, because it looks like we want to be in this half of the map anyway. So up 3. A 0 gets rid of Sickening Webs. Okay, so That's gone. And now we draw a card. Ursula draws. I've got a plan. Fight. This attack uses lore. You deal +1 damage for this attack for each clue you have, max +3 damage. Ooh, and we're going to be doing, well, we're only going to be doing the maximum of 4 damage. But still, that could be very helpful. We'll shortcut over to the Great Web, make friends with the Swarm. We're not going to use your for her free investigate, because the way this ability is worded. Let's actually bring Ursula's investigator card up for a second. The way this card is worded, after you move to a location, take an investigate action, limit once per round. So the action itself is free, but because it's telling you to take an action, everything that follows from an action except for the cost applies. So you would take an attack of opportunity if you take that with an enemy engaged to you. So unfortunately, that's why we're not using the investigate there. For action 2, I will spend 3 resources. There are the 3 resources. To play, where is it? I've got a plan. So this attack uses lore, and basically I'm at 4-5 to 1. I'm trying to take this thing out in one shot. Right, the Swarm, the Elder thing is -3, but we were up 4, so the Swarm of Spiders is very dead. So we'll discard the Swarm. Then action 3, I think we're just going to let Call of the Unknown go off. So we're going to draw a card. And we find a copy of Deduction that I might need it later, but I don't think I need it now. So Call of the Unknown is going to go off. Ursula takes 2 horror, and Call of the Unknown is going to shuffle right back into her deck. We don't have a lot of cards left in Ursula's deck because we've been going through it. But that will do it for Ursula in the investigation phase. Jenny... this is a decision. Do we try to run that leg down? I don't think we do, actually. I think the legs are coming for us anyway. So, let's see, action 1, action 2, action 3. No, I don't think... I think we just sit tight for the time being. So for Jenny, action 1, for 2, we're just going to do a little bit of setup this late. I know it's crazy. So we'll spend 2 resources to play Arcane Studies, which is our skill dump for Will and Lore. So now we can spend it on any test. Action 2, we're going to spend 3 resources. Oop, I don't want that. Why would I want that right now? So there are the 3 resources. We'll play the Moon 18. So we'll give her +1 agility in her tarot slot. That was action 2. Action 3. Yeah, I'm not particularly worried about running things down right now. So I think what we're going to do is actions 3 and 4, I'm just going to move Jenny over to Ursula. Because if leg 4 ends up anywhere where Jenny can get at it, she can probably go try to kill it, especially if leg 4 stops at this location right here. It's got 1 health left, and that's going to be a Shroud of 1. So we can definitely run that down. But that will do it for Jenny in the investigation phase. Enemy phase, no hunter enemies in play. So we'll re-ready everything. And then we'll move back up top for the upkeep phase. We're back up top for the upkeep phase. I'll finish resetting the action tokens. 2, 3, 4. Ursula will gain 1 resource, go up to 2. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go up to 8. Come on, there we go. There are 2 resources. Jenny draws. Hallowed Mirror. Ooh, this might be something we put into play pretty quick. But we'll have to see what else happens. That's what gets us our soothing melodies. Ursula draws. Another I've got a plan. That is actually not all that unwelcome right now. So, we'll move back over to the map at this point for the Mythos Phase. Alright, we're back to the map for the Mythos Phase. This is a big spin on Atlach Naka. The reason it's a big spin is because we have leg 4 with 1 health left down here at this Great Web location. A 2 spin right now probably puts us 99% of the way to advancing the agenda, because what'll happen is leg 4 or advancing the act, I should say, because a 2 spin puts leg 4 right on top of us, where Jenny can probably kill it, and then that'll put leg 2 down here, which Ursula can get to with minimal problems, and then spend 2 clues to be able to kill that. So this is a big, big spin. That's a -3. Actually, that might work even better, because a -3 puts leg 4 1, 2, 3 up there. Jenny can get to that, and then 1, 2, 3. That saves Ursula an action in getting to. Actually, Ursula might not even need an action to get down to it, depending on what happens in the Mythos Phase. So actually, a -3 might have worked even better now that I think about it. Except the only thing I don't like about that is that puts that leg up there at a Shroud of 5. But now Jenny probably has more than enough resources to be able to hit a Shroud, to be able to hit a fight of 5. But again, I'm, as usual, getting about 5 miles ahead of myself. So, before we do that, we are advancing the agenda, because we would be putting another Doom up, which would bring us up to 13. All right. So let's take a look at Agenda 2B. Of starts and webs, a light flashes in the distance beyond strands of ethereal webbing, an explosion thousands of light years away. Radiant light ripples throughout the web bridge. The silken threads reflect the luminescence of a shattered nebula. A brilliant shine burns your pupils. When the glow finally dims, the bridge is resplendent with cosmic energy. It is almost over now. Soon the bridge will connect the 2 worlds, and there will be nothing left but Atlach Naka and its horde. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the deck. Give that a quick shuffle. All right, we'll give that a cut. And then we'll take a look at our last agenda. Realities uninterwoven. In the distance, untold horizons away, stars glimmer and burn with the power of countless other worlds. The shimmering strands of web all around you pulse with the same light. This agenda gets +2 per Investigator Doom threshold. So we need 15 to advance that. We already have 4 in play. And Ursula went first. She draws. Oh boy, a Grey Weaver. Prey lowest agility, so it actually spawns with Ursula, but it'll be re-engaging to Jenny. 4/5/3. Hunter, while it's ready, each investigator at its location can't take move actions. This thing needs to die. Oh, as I hit the camera. Right, Jenny draws. Endless Weaving. Oh boy. Yeah, so we choose a spider enemy in play. So we either put a Doom out or the Grey Weaver attacks Ursula. I don't think we can afford to have the Grey Weaver attack Ursula. Because that would put her 1 damage from... Actually, that would put her 1 from being defeated, period. So I'm just going to choose one of the legs because those are spider enemies. And we'll put a Doom out. Alright, so that was rather an unfortunate turn of events. But we might still be able to get out of this, actually. So, Jenny is going to go first. We're going to stay over here because hopefully there's going to be movement involved this turn. So, Jenny, for her first action, is going to spend a bullet from the twin 45s, aiming at the Grey Weaver. Right now she's up 1. I'm going to commit Stunning Blow to the attack to put her up 2. And then I'm going to spend both of the resources from Hard Knocks to go up 4. But I need to be... Actually, you know what? I just realized something. If I miss, Ursula's defeated by damage. So I think action 1 is actually going to be to engage. Action 2 is going to be all of that. So I'm going to spend the 2 resources from Hard Knocks. Stunning Blow. I'm up 4, trying to do 2 damage. Okay, 0 does 2 damage to the Grey Weaver. And evades it. So now we can take move actions. And action 3, Jenny will take a move action. Jenny's going to go after leg 4. We're going to try to take that one out. And then action 4 is going to be to use another bullet from her 45s. We're going to commit, so right now we are at even. I'll commit the Derringer to go up 1. And 3 resources from her pool to bring her up 4. See if we can take that leg out. Skull is minus X, where X is the highest doom on a location in play. So we can take it out. So that's the 6th damage on leg 4. And it lands in the victory display. So we have 1 leg left. So now legs 1, 3, and 4 are in the victory display. That will do it for Jenny. Now that she's not engaged with an enemy, Ursula can use Pathfinder to move down to the Great Web, Prison of Cocoons. She has to as she enters this location, she tests Agility 3, which I will have to exhaust Fieldwork for. So 4, 5, 6, she's up 3. All right, a -1 lets her survive that. So that was a fast action. Actions 1 and 2 are going to be to spend 2 of her clues to take out the last leg of Atlach Naka. So now leg 2 is in the victory display, and all four are in the victory display now, so we advance. Alright. The Queen's Wrath. Having severed the wretched spider's legs and unraveled the webs it stood on, you hoped that this would send the thing careening into the endless void below. But as it falls, More thin, jagged legs erupt from below its abdomen, and it grips onto a nearby platform, just barely catching itself. The horrible maw, which extends down the length of its worm-like head, wrenches open. From it emerges a screech like 1,000 nails on a chalkboard. Flip Atlach-Naka's center card over to its enemy side. Place it at the location with the most doom on it. Alright, so we'll flip over Atlach-Naka. It's actually going to the topmost location with Jenny. So we'll go ahead and flip over Atlach-Naka's center card. Atlach-Naka, the spider god. 4 per investigator, 4. Massive. Forced. When Atlach-Naka leaves a location, if there are no investigators at that location, place 1 doom there. Otherwise, it attacks each investigator at that location. Forced. After you evade Atlach-Naka, instead of exhausting it, choose an investigator at your location. It cannot attack the chosen investigator this round. Does 2 and 2, victory 1. Okay, so we definitely need to get Jenny out of there soon. Oh boy, this is going to be a problem. Shoot. I have a feeling this is going to be Ursula's show to try to save. So, action 3. Let's see here. Oh, let's go through the new act. Act 3A, the scheme's demise. You are the last line of defense against the creatures that scheme to devour your world. Action, we have the same action enforced as before. Objective, Atlach-Naka is defeated, advance. So this is going to be a bit of a problem. Do I think Jenny cannot take, well, she might have, actually, she's probably going to have to sacrifice Leo. But, as before, Atlach-Naka is moving in this direction. So I wonder, let's see, right now we have a fresh agenda, we need 15 to advance. We have 5 in play right now. I think Ursula's third action is going to be to move down to this great web. And I'll explain the idea I have once I go through the revealed side of this great web. Shroud of 4, 2 clues. Forced. After you enter this location, test Will 3. If you fail, you must either choose and discard a card from your hand for each point you failed by, or place 1 doom on this location. So that's a will test, and I exhausted field work, but I haven't used my free investigate yet, which I will do once I get done with this. So once I get done with this will test, to which I will commit guts to go up 1, actually go up 2. Alright, that's a -3, so we do fail. Which means we have to discard a card from her hand. Since we only have to discard 1 since we failed by 1, and I'm going to discard the Chthonian Stone. I'm still going through a lot here, so bear with me. 4, I'm up 2. I still have a free investigate, to which I will commit deduction and go up 4, trying to get both clues. -3, which is what the Elder thing is, still gets her both clues. So we'll grab those. And we get a resource, so we'll bring her up to 3. Now, that will do it for the investigation phase. Before I move into the enemy phase, let me explain what I've got in my mind. So, the idea I have here is, if I know Atlach-Naka is moving in this direction, I'm going to try to bring Ursula around to meet her probably about... I want to try to meet Atlak Naka somewhere down here. And try to take her out there. It's probably going to be somewhere down in this lower half of the map is what I'm thinking right now. That's really our only shot at this. But anyway, again, I'm getting ahead of myself there. Jenny will take 2 and 2 from being attacked by Atlak Naka, which puts her 1 sanity from defeated by sanity. And then we'll go into the upkeep phase. I think we'll stay right here for that. So I will go ahead and refresh everything. Alright, so Ursula will gain 1 resource and go to 4. Jenny will gain 2 resources and go to 7. I'll also reset Jenny's action tokens. Jenny will draw. Stunning Blow. This might not be unwelcome, actually. Then Ursula will draw. Another copy of Pathfinder. This might be very timely. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Mythos, actually that might be the Pathfinder we threw away earlier. Mythos Phase. Now we start with how much we're spinning out Atlak Naka, or if we are. We are not spinning her, actually. That gives me possibilities. And actually, Hard Knocks does replenish as well. So now we're into Mythos Phase proper. So we're putting the Doom up, bringing us up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 15. Jenny's first. She draws. Swarm of Spiders. Swarming 2. Fantastic. So actually we need to... question is, do we care about that? Ursula draws. Oh, and the Grey Weaver should also have readied. Right. Ursula draws. Caught in a Web. Get -1 agility and can't take more than 1 move action each round. We saw this earlier. Alright. So... Question is, do I want to try to put some damage on Atlak Naka, or do I want to try to take the Swarm of Spiders out? Actually, we're at a 4. Actually, if we take Atlak Naka out, we win. It's that simple. So, the question is, can we do enough damage to take Atlak Naka out? We only need to do 8. Can I get Jenny up at least 4 on every test? She'll start up 1. She'll start up 1 for every bullet I spend. 2, 3. 2, 3 from Hard Knocks. I've got her first test covered, and I can stop the attack. Then I either... Yeah, I think we go for it. I think Jenny will go first. We'll start off with a bullet at Atlak Naka. So she's up 1. I'll spend the 2 resources from Hard Knocks to go up 3. And Stunning Blow to go up 4, so Jenny can't be attacked this round. If this attack works. So when you evade, instead of exhausting, choose an investigator. Can't attack the chosen investigator this round. Skull is -2 because it's the highest amount of Doom on a location. Perfect. So 2 Doom, and I'm going to put the Stunning Blow next to Atlak Naka so that I know, hey, Jenny can't be attacked this round. Alright, then Action 2, I'm going to run that back. I'm going to spend 3 resources from her pool to get her back up 4. Again, trying to do 2 damage. -1 is another 2 damage. This is Action 2. So now we're up to 4 damage on Atlak Naka, and remember, because we evaded Atlak Naka, Jenny can't get attacked this round by Atlak Naka. That's key to know. Action 3, we'll spend another 3 resources to go up 4. Elder Sign is another +1, so that's 2 more damage on Atlaknaka. The question... Okay, so here's the question. It's Action 4. We're going into Action 4 right now. Do we push our luck? If we push our luck and we miss, Jenny is doomed. Maybe not, actually. Yeah, I think Action 4, we just go for it. We still have... If this misses and Jenny gets defeated here, I still can bring Ursula down this way to try to meet Atlaknaka and finish her off. So we'll spend another bullet into Atlaknaka, and I'm going to spend her last resource into Hard Knocks to put her up 2. And that is why you push your luck. And that's what can happen when you push your luck, boys and girls. Shockingly enough, we got there. So Stunning Blow is not needed. Atlaknaka is now defeated, so we advance. Can't believe we pulled that one off. Alright, if Atlaknaka is defeated, advance. Act 3B. Falling down. Actually, you know what? We're going to move up top into advancing this. Because we'll also go into scenario and campaign resolution from there. Alright, as we recall... If Atlaknaka is defeated, advance. Falling down. The creature thrashes about violently as its webbing is ripped apart. The shimmer fades from the bridge's threads. In the distance, the cosmic array of lights winks out of existence, star by star. The spider's pain screech is deafening. You're not sure if it would be possible to kill a creature such as this, but you have done more harm to it in destroying its life's work than you could have ever done with bullets and blades, and yet we used a lot of bullets in this one. As the woven threads of spider silk unravel, this realm's many suspended platforms of rock crumble and collapse into the endless aether below. You struggle to find something to stand on or grab hold of. Without the support of the web bridge, the entire dimension collapses all around you. With a final desperate screech that echoes throughout this world between worlds, Atlaknaka plunges into the eternal darkness below. You are quick to follow. R1. Alright, so I will go grab my phone. Oh, fantastic. I forgot to start that timer, but anyway. That's not relevant to what we're doing right now. So we are in Resolution 1.
If no resolution was reached...
Shut up. Wrong one.
Resolution 1.
Here we go.
You clutch a silken thread, the only thing keeping you from plummeting through the endless depths of the void. In your campaign log, record the bridge was destroyed.
Alright, you zip it for a second. Okay, so the bridge was destroyed.
Investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. Each investigator earns 5 bonus experience as they prevent the Dreamlands and reality from merging.
Okay, so that brings us to... So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 experience. Not that it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things. So 5 and 5 because we did spend that experience.
Campaign log. Resolve the topmost section option that applies. If the investigators found a way out of the underworld, skip to Resolution 3. If the investigators are trapped in Atlaknaka's realm, skip to Resolution 4. If none of the above are true, skip to Resolution 5.
Alright, and the investigators are trapped in Atlach-Naka's realm. Come on, there we go. Alright, so we want resolution 5. Okay.
Resolution 4.
Wrong one. Here we go, resolution 5.
Resolution 5. You have stopped the spider god from completing its web, but in the process, you have cut off the quickest way for you to return home. So, with your task complete, you begin the long climb toward reality. You are lucky that remnants of the web bridge still remain intact, or you would have been stranded in this hellish world between worlds. It takes many hours for you to retrace your steps to the underworld. You eventually emerge from the thick, tar-like sea of pitch close to the shoreline. To your dismay, you realize that you are on the opposite shore of the sea from the dark veil from which you once embarked. With no way to cross the deadly sea, you'll have to find another way out of this barren expanse. Days pass as you continue to explore the underworld, reaching darker and more forbidden lands as you travel deeper and deeper below the crust of the Earth's dreamlands. Though you eventually find a stairway up, it is very different from the one leading to the unnameable. A spiraling, otherworldly series of steps that reach dizzying heights and break all laws of reality. When you reach the top, your heart sinks. There is no sign of Arkham here. You are greeted instead by a strange, ruined city and its half-human denizens. The creatures inform you that you have reached the lost city of Sarkomand. It appears your return journey is far from over. In your campaign log, record the investigators are still in the Dreamlands. Each investigator suffers 2 physical trauma from their fierce fight with the Spider God. If you are playing the Web of Dreams as a 4-part campaign, the investigators win the campaign. If you are playing the Dream Quest and the Web of Dreams as an interconnected 8-part campaign, and you have not yet played Scenario 4A, Where the Gods Dwell, proceed to that scenario. And you have already played Scenario 4A, Where the Gods Dwell, proceed instead to Epilogue.
So 2 physical trauma for each of them, which brings Jenny up to 2 and 2, Ursula up to 3 physical. I'm just glad we didn't have to leave Jenny's sister behind again. That would have been annoying. But now we're getting ready to go into the Epilogue. So read this epilogue only if you're playing the Dream Quest and the Web of Dreams as an interconnected 8-part campaign. We've played both Scenario 4A and 4B. Check the campaign log for both campaigns, use the matrix below to find the epilogue that applies to your situation, then proceed to that epilogue. So, the situation that applies for us, I'll show you the matrix here. So the epilogue we want, the investigators are still in the Dreamlands, as we just heard, so we're here. And on the dream side, Nyarlathotep's invasion has begun, so we want Epilogue 4.
Epilogue 4. What are you still doing here of all places? Oh, I see. You cannot find your way back to the waking world. Well, perhaps that is for the best. You see, your erstwhile companions are awake once more, but they have brought a passenger with them, along with them. Do you really have to ask? You know of whom I speak. Trust me, stay here, in this world. Forget everything about your old life. It'll be much better here, I promise. Each investigator from Campaign B lives a life of ignorant bliss. The investigators averted one form of destruction, but not the other.
Alright, so we managed to not turn the world into spider num-nums, but we definitely still lost the world, because the Dreamers couldn't hold up their end of the bargain. But that will do it for this scenario and the campaign. Next week, we'll wrap this campaign up during the week, and then we'll have a new game on the channel. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also make sure you turn on notifications if you haven't already. As usual, if I make any mistakes, please let me know in the comments. I try to catch them in editing, but of course, I'm only human. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourself and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.
Thank you.